I believe everyone is listening to me. Very good. So today's topic is another progress towards understanding how these illusions take over the mind and causes pain and the problem. You already remember the story of imaginary rope, donkey, and the washerman. We have to analyze a little bit this story deeper, deeper in a way that we take sufferings for granted. We don't take peace and happiness for granted. Are you in peace now? Are you are you calm now? Yes. We we don't take this for granted. The moment you have a little pain, we take it for granted. Oh, this is what is, I'm always suffering. And then mind goes outside and it starts blaming and complaining and reacting and enters into anxiety, then suffers from tension, sleep, disturbances in the sleep. That is what is all the imaginary rope is. We have to contemplate and reflect again and again and again until this mind drops the imaginary rope of delusion, illusion, pain, problems. So there are a couple of factors. First factor, that if you try to find out where the pain is located, where the jealousy is located. Take a couple of examples. We have majority are women, so where the jealousy is located, where the pain is located. So our masters, they reflected, they contemplated for years together in the forest, in the woods, and then they came out and wrote these texts. It is not that, if you want to write a book now, so you have to find out a agent. So that agent tells you what to write. It doesn't come from inside you. They tell you what to write, what should be the preface. Before you write the book, they start promoting it. Then they give you the topics. Here are the 10 topics on which your book should be based. But in those masters have written the book not for becoming the best-selling author. I get messages from almost 2 or 3 messages on the LinkedIn every week that I'm the best-selling author. I will make you the best-selling author. I don't respond to them. I don't want. I don't want to do it. Because if you search the LinkedIn, you will find more than 100,000 people. They have written the best-selling author. Right. So anyhow, so the nature of the mental bondage, nature of the mental bondage, we have to understand where this pain, for example, where the reaction is located, where the jealousy is located. So there are 2 options. Why it is a delusion? You have to understand and you have to think in this way. Whenever you are surrounded by anxiety, duality, conflict, reaction, jealousy. So there are two locations we can find. Either that jealousy or reaction are present in the matter. In the matter. For example, it is present in the remote. Body is a matter. Body is a matter. So now tell me, is the reaction present in the body? Answer: reaction, jealousy, no. Effects of the jealousy is present, effect of the reaction. But the location of the jealousy cannot be the matter. Second is the consciousness. If the jealousy is present in the consciousness, then this consciousness cannot be independent. It is not present there also. So where it is present, that is what the delusion is. That is what the imaginary rope is. You may have a doubt about it, but if you contemplate and reflect again and again and again, you recognize it is not present in the body and the mind, it is not present in the consciousness, means the real self. But when they come in contact, the mind is created and the mind creates an imaginary rope, and that is why we are suffering. We take pain and the problems for granted. Behind it, we are in peace and happiness. That is the first message of this story of imaginary rope that lives in illusion. Let us understand little deeper the power of perception. Go back to the story. The donkey wasn't physically restrained. Its mobility came from its perception of being tight. Did you understand? The immobility of the donkey came from its perception of being tied. He felt that I'm tied. I'm tied to you, honey, and that's why I'm suffering. Why you married then? I'm giving you an example. You have made my life hell. Oh, imaginary tie. You may have those thoughts in your mind. You need not to say anything to me, but contemplate and reflect on it. You see the power of perception. Who perceives? Mind. How it perceives? Like an imaginary room. So I have a wrong perception. And that wrong perception, our perception creates our reality. To whom you are listening, your perception, you're listening to this BL guy. So our perception creates a reality more powerful than the external circumstances. I see the mirage water, I perceive it. So I have created a perception, and that perception had created a reality that the water is there. Without inquiry, I claim that the water is there. Without inquiry, my mind cooks the story. Look at this. He doesn't understand. He or she, you have already understood. He doesn't understand. Look at this guy. Crazy guy. He doesn't understand my feeling. So you have a special feeling, isn't it? That's why the other is not able to understand. Keep laughing and keep smiling. Get rid of this imaginary illusion. Then only the life will be full of peace and happiness. Two problems. We are just talking about how the imaginary rope, that illusion, First, I have explained the nature of a mental bondage. Second is the power of perception. But now, when I have created, my mind has created a reality with imaginary rope, then the third comes, I have an identification. Now I am getting identified. Whether attachment to relationship, whether attachment to honey, ideologies, possessions, self-concept become our prison when we mistake them for what we are. I was telling a story. It may belong to the men or women, so don't think. So he got married at the age of 25. At the age of 46, after 20 years, he went to the master of the East and West. He said, after a year, I thought that I should kill my honey. I'll be free. So my friend told me that you'll be sent to the prison for 20 years. So the master kept looking and kept listening to him. Are you listening, master? Yes, I'm listening. Now it is more than almost 20 years of my marriage because he did not kill. Now you see how the imagination works in the mind. He said, if I had killed my wife, I should have been free from the prison now. Did you understand? John says yes. So do you see that? That is the crux of the imagination. From one imagination, I lived in that imagination for 20 years. And after 20 years, I say, I imagined I should have cared. So after, I should have served 20 years in prison. I should be free. But still I'm bound. Still I'm tied with imaginary rope. From where you get these stories? Yeah, from different people, from my clients. So I make it to make you understand this concept. That is what the imaginary rope is. We carry forward those imaginary pain and problem and jealousy and reaction in our life. That is the reason we are suffering. We are not suffering from anyone. Suffering is not outside. Do you agree? Say yes. So if you say yes, then why are you suffering? so, so, so why are you suffering? Get rid of this. See this, see. That is what our masters have thought of this process, contemplated and reflected how the mind causes. So identification. So this guy is still identified, and he kept that identification for 20 years, and still he is being identified. I should be afraid of, my honey. No, this is to convey the principle clearly. You need not to be afraid. So, liberation process. What is the liberation process? Go to the monk who said, who who pointed out to the washerman, go there, go to, go to the donkey, go to the tree, act as if you are untying the rope. I have to act consciously to untie the ropes of the jealousy, hatred, anger, hesitation, reaction against near and the dear ones. But if your mind says, but even if my near and dear ones are crazy, it means you are crazy, you are still living with an imaginary rope. You don't want to change yourself, you want to change everyone in the world outside. It is not possible. It will never happen. Are you understanding? It will never happen. But the moment you change, you drop your imaginary rope, I can bet you in a week you will find that you are free. Bathroom is not there in our house. Who doesn't have it? Everyone has it. And still our house is beautiful. Where I'm pointing you. Are you understanding? Even the hardest criminal is with you, but you have left your imaginary rope, you have dissolved it. That criminal has to become a monk. That is the power of the consciousness inside, which reflects into the mind when it will reflect when you drop that imaginary rope. Before that, it will never happen. Before that, you go to the court and you fight and you criticize and you have a jealousy. You are not in peace and you don't want others to be in peace. So you are the problem creator. How you know? There are very subtle principles, but I'll pick up only one as a corollary for this or a conclusion for this. Eastern wisdom says you do not need to add the knowledge. You have to explore where is the imaginary rope, where your mind is dictating you with the false notion, you drop the false notion. We don't need to add any knowledge. Did you understand that? But to remove the false notion, I have to contemplate and reflect on it. I gave you a couple of examples there. So the essence of liberation and awakening lies not in adding new knowledge or experiences, but in removing the false notion that obscure our inherent freedom inside. We are free. The rope that binds us exists only in our imagination. The rope that bind us exist only in imagination, maintained by, maintained by, can you conclude, maintained by repeated thoughts of anxiety, reaction, anger against the world outside. You drop the habitual pattern, let me see whether you are in pain, problem. So that imaginary rope is maintained by my habitual pattern, impulsive mind. What they did, they repeat again and again. Look at this, he's still acting, he's trying to be smart, My mind continues to think in that way, internally. So I'm just relying on the imaginary rope. Have you said this like this? Have you said this like this in your mind? You are not saying outside. So you are suffering. What is the way that through the self inquiry and awareness we can recognize these rules for what they are? When you recognize they don't exist, they don't exist, you are in peace and happiness there and then. And then you practice meditation, you are settled into that state of the permanent peace and happiness, and the journey of the life becomes beautiful. Our masters teach us that there is a universal human tendency across generations that that imaginary rope creates an expectations from the society, from the tradition, from the people, from the near and the dear ones. Can I cut that expectations? I recognize what is my expectations. I recognize how the expectations has created an attachment, and I should recognize that attachment is falling in love, not rising in. Should I go further? So falling in love means a very deeper expectations from the others. The moment the person faces you, your mind becomes so big, full of expectations. So your face expression, your thought process, everything changes that you might have experienced in your life. I don't say anything, but you know, and I also know. But now think of this guy. At this age, if I still continue with the expectations, means lot of attachment and reaction, and the body is not able to tolerate that. So I will have many sicknesses, but I want to continue, continue, suffer. Can you extend? So our master says that, can I extend helping others mentally, physically, socially? Let me crush these expectations by serving directly or indirectly, mentally, emotionally, everyone, including my near and the dear ones. If I remain as a selfish, expectations are not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere. Look at this, I'm old now. Nobody cares me. My son has gone there. They have their own problem. Let them solve. You get rid of this. Let them live their life. Let them also suffer with the imaginary rope. Then they will realize. Nobody is taking care of me. It is going to crush you. A silent generation member might feel bound by traditional roles and expectations, societal norms. But if you get rid of those expectations, you will find that now actually you are living your life beyond those expectations and attachment. And it will result into the emotional well-being. It will not only help you, but it will help others. Just for a minute, I'll pick up only one more aspect. Sit down this week, find out how many moments and events of pleasure or happiness you have experienced last year in 2024. You had a new car, excited. You had a new clothes, good. You had some new discovery to remove the eye bags, oh, happy. You know, a lot of other stuff. So now ask yourself how long each experience of the happiness lasted. How many hours, how many days? You bought a new clothes, new dress, maybe 2 or 3 times you used it. After a week, mind says, no, I'm okay. Happiness is gone. You bought a new car. After a week, the car is lying in the garage so dirty. And I can bet you, even you have bought something to remove the eye bags, because of mind is already occupied in so many things, you forget. First 2 or 3 days you are good. Or you always stand before the mirror for a couple of hours. What is the message? Message the master gives: any happiness or the pleasure that we receive from the world does not last long. Whether you have bought a big mansion, leave aside big mansion, you bought a luxury car, you are married to, I will use both, Mr. or Miss World, Mr. World or Miss World. That pleasure does not last long. Maybe a few hours, few days, maybe maximum a week, or maybe a month. Same mansion looks very dirty. One of my client builds the houses which cost more than $10 million. So he said, "Oh, come and have a look at it." So that was near the look, look of the Himalayas, look of the mountains are there in Phoenix. So I looked into, there are 3 rows, 5, 6, 7 bedrooms, and guest room, etc., etc. So I was looking, I said, the house, the rooms are almost the same. There is hardly any difference. So he came out and he said, because you go outside towards your backyard, and then you see a beautiful mountain. So my student was telling me that I have raised the price for about 500,000 more. Normally it cost 11 million, but now it costs 16 million. Come on, the guy who is going to buy the house should be a millionaire. So he will take care more of the money rather than looking at the mountain. Imaginary rope. So I told him the story. He said, "Don't tell the story to everyone." I said, "Whosoever my client, I will tell you in the same story." He's a wonderful guy. He said, "No, Whosoever is my client, if I happen to talk of the topic, I will definitely talk. Do you see these things? I have to get rid of it. Then I find my authentic self and I'm happy. That is the one. Today's I cover this topic. We take stress for granted, imaginary row. We take anxiety for granted, imaginary row. We don't want to find the peace inherent in us. That is the problem, human dilemma. Let us close your eyes and find out the right place. Please become aware of the space all around the body. We have taken the body for granted in the beginning that I am the body. So the space around your body, the place is there, then the position. I love it. You have started doing the practice while sitting. It is always good. It's always a progress, it's a sign of the progress. So, position of the body, how do you know the position of the body? You experience the sensation. Very good. And that sensation makes you aware of the position of the body and the posture will go further being comfortable. I'm repeating again and again, this practice of meditation demands a repetition, conscious repetition, as if you are doing for the first time, refreshed attitude. So look at, that is why I change the expression in every session. So you look at the neck joint, mentally you are looking. Yeah, you see, mentally you're looking means what? You know mentally here is a neck joint. So when you know mentally here is a neck joint, how do you know? By feeling. Well, how the feeling is, feeling makes you know that by awareness. So stay there and experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now, the understanding. What is the understanding? I'm not asking you to look at the star, look at your near and dear ones. You are the dearest to yourself. You, you are the nearest to yourself. Nobody else in the world, including your honey, is nearest to you. So, how to find it? We change the direction of the mind. So look at the shoulder joints, be there, feel, know. What do you know? You know the shoulder joints. Check that. Does the mind still engaged in knowing, feeling the shoulder joints? That means you have changed the direction of the mind. And when you change the direction of the mind naturally discovers the comfort in us. We are not doing anything. You see, we simply change the direction of the mind. Check it, understand this. So there is a sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Don't disturb me, I want to be comfortable. It is not, it will never happen because mind is still outside. That is why your focus is on the person, on the event, on the relations. And that's why you don't feel comfortable. So look at the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. You are looking mentally. Looking mentally means you know where the body is. When you know where the body is, you are aware, you have a feeling of the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. When I say you are aware of the body, it doesn't mean you are only aware of your nose. You are aware of the entire body. The mind has to repeat this experience again and again and again. Why? To experience that we have changed the direction of the mind from the world outside to inside. So the moment we experience the entire whole body, we also experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. If these initial preparatory steps are not done fully, completely, with intent, with 100% mind, the other steps may appear wonderful. It will not help you. I tell you frankly. So we are now in experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The next step you already know, being carefree. You gave an example of the sky, the birds flying in the sky. Nothing happens to the sky. Look inside your head. That is the very process. Just look inside your head, find the emptiness or a darkness. Now, this emptiness, darkness of the space cannot be changed by any good, bad, high, low thoughts, or the thoughts of the sins and virtues, the thoughts of hell and heaven. That darkness in the space will continue to exist without any change, the way the sky do not change. So what should I do? Do nothing. Just watch. Watch, feel, know. Thought has come, a thought has gone. Feeling has come, feeling has gone. Thought has come, gone. Feeling has come, gone. Oh, it is so simple. Yes, you are a guard in a gated community. You don't say anything to anyone, you are simply watching them coming and going. One owner has come, gone. Other owner has reached. Gate is open automatically, gone automatically. What it means? Another example. The thoughts will come automatically, the thoughts will go automatically. But if you are deeply attached with the thought, it will not happen. You see, when it doesn't happen, then we have, that is why we have the active steps. We have the active steps when being comfortable and carefree fails to work in meditation. Fails to work in meditation. So there what we do, we go little deeper. We engage the mind. We engage the mind in at many fronts. There are many fronts that we will talk later. Just be focused on the practice. You look inside the forehead, again the same blankness and emptiness. And you drop the mantra Om Shanti into that space. If I say you hit the space with the mantra, but you do it with a pause. I'm adding one more thing, subtle thing. So what happens? You means the mind. You look inside the forehead. Very good. Then you see the space or a darkness. Very good. And there you drop Om Shanti and know the meaning means I am peace. And the best part is the peace is like an infinite space. So do not struggle. Do not struggle that oh, I don't have peace. I don't have peace. Do no worries. Just find the infinite space. The moment you drop Om Shanti. Yes, first time it may not be possible. Second time it is possible. Even if it is third time, it will be possible. So which practice the last week, before that, whatever the mind says, this practice is very good. Tell the mind I'll be committed to this practice 2 times every day for a week, and then I will share my experiences. So I changed the pattern. Why I changed it? Because I hit upon some subtle principles of succeeding in meditation. So what I said, the first is, so again, you see, now let us go deeper into the same step. What you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You experience that the thoughts are like the birds in the sky, not attached, not expecting, not trying to fight. Why? They come and go. You just wait and watch. That is our background. And in that background, you look inside the forehead. You're not in a hurry to say Om Shanti. Recognize, you know what is recognize? In psychology, we use the word cognition. And you think it's a big word. It's just simply a recognize. What recognize? You recognize the space and the darkness. Very good. Once you recognize, you drop Om Shanti, knowing the meaning, I am peace, and into, absorbed into the infinite space. The shape of the peace is like the infinite space. So that is why the peace brings sukha, the joy, the happiness. Su means in Sanskrit good, and ka means space, sukha. Om Shanti. Simple, logical, step by step. You know, the crazy mind will not listen to your Om Shanti. What should I do? Keep on dropping and hitting the space with Om Shanti. Crazy mind is doing its own stuff and you are doing your own stuff. They both are different and separate. Anyhow, you have to find a point of complete self absorption where you feel the thoughts are too far from you. They are there, but still it is too far from you. So, can I introduce the practice into the practice? Or you can say the practice inside the practice. Check. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Check. Being carefree and comfortable. Check the space inside. Then drop the mantra and be one with the space. But the mind still reacts and some thoughts enter there. So, can you do it the moment any thought, good or bad, enters the mind? You simply say or drop the mantra Om Shanti, but in an interesting manner, joyful manner. How can it be a joyful manner if I have a thought of reaction? Yes, it is possible. How it is possible? You knock my door and you ask, is Girish Jha there? And I say, Om Shanti. You say, oh, uh, that guy teaches meditation, and I say, Om Shanti. You are crazy, and I still say Om Shanti. For every thought that enters into the mind, you gently, joyfully drop the mantra over the thought, feeling, any vision or color, and then see what happens. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Share your experiences. How are you, Sophie?
I am good, Girish. It was interesting because my body wanted to move so much, and I was thinking Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And that at a certain point, it just didn't feel like nothing.
Yes, you hit upon a wonderful point. I explained the body wants to move, it is because of the crazy mind. And you are dropping Om Shanti so that thought associated with the feeling dropped and the body didn't move.
Mm.
That is what happens in a higher meditative journey. Beautifully said, beautifully observed. Beautiful. How are you, Anne?
Thank you.
I feel very good. Towards the end, sleep tried to overcome me, but I tried to push it away, and
Beautiful.
I
Yes,
didn't fall asleep.
the first step I never start in the beginning, but first step is that when you start meditating while sitting, gradually this sleepiness and the laziness will definitely go up. And that is what you have started doing. Beautiful. How are you, Charlie?
Um, it was funny. I experienced something very similar to Anne towards the end of the meditation. I was aware of, oh, my body wants to go to sleep. No,
No.
come back. And then I felt myself a little bit like when you're close to something, say you're a rocket, a spaceship on the Earth, and it goes up into space. So you're looking down on something and it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. That's what I felt like. And then I could feel I wanted to nod off, but I was aware of that. So I stopped myself. It was a very interesting experience.
Yeah. Very small, small, so almost like disappear. Yes, you are right. That too, these experiences will help us to take to the higher journey. And you said stop it, and it stops. The mind in its purest form says anything, it becomes true. Otherwise, the mind in its impure form, I want to sleep, then you have a sleep disturbance. Mind says, "Oh, just sleep," but you don't go into sleep. So that is the reflection point. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. Well, I made myself comfortable, but I was not carefree. My mind is my enemy.
Hmm. My mind is my enemy. Our mind is a necessary evil. You understand this phrase, necessary? It is essential. I cannot do without it. We can do without it for 5, 6, 7, or 8 hours of the sleep. But it is not possible to do without it forever. That will be an eternal sleep. That
Right, right.
will be an eternal sleep. So now evil. So now this mind has twofold actions. Either it can follow the impurity or it can follow the purity. So the very important step in the Eastern wisdom, it says, no, let us follow the path of the purity, and then it works. So we have to make the mind as a helper, not as a barrier. That is the journey. So don't blame your mind, please. How are you made?
I love what John just said,
Yeah.
that my mind likes to sneak in and then it robs me in some way, and then I feel terrible, and then I try to start over. But tonight I was able to allow my mind to rest in
Yeah.
some way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
then things could uh, come to peace in some way with
Yes.
me.
Yes.
Oh,
So that is what happens when you allow the mind. Allow the mind means that you left the mind, whatever you want to do, it doesn't belong to me. That is the meaning of carefree and allowing the mind to settle and go deeper.
mm,
But if I constantly pricking the mind, how? The thought has come and I chase that thought. That is the problem. And that level of awareness comes by practice, practice, practice. Yes, that is all for today. Thank you very much.
thank you.
You tolerated me. You all guys tolerated me.
Oh, no, we love you.
Thank you.